I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the first step in the design process, which is reading the program to understand what the client's needs are.
So I've read the design prompt, and everyone will get a design prompt at the Santa Barbara Architectural Competition. And what we have today is an existing site north of Ojai with a wonderful natural landscape, a creek to the south, and it's going to be a single-family residence with 2 bedrooms, an office, and 1 or more bathrooms. So we'll begin now. And we are going to start sketching to put our thoughts and decisions into drawing form. Here we have the site plan of the neighborhood, and I have 1 of 6 options to choose to develop our residence on. And I think I prefer site number 3 because it has the large oak tree when you enter the site, and it has views of the creek. So one thing we'll note, I'm going to lay my trace over it. Here's the north arrow. So this side is going to be slightly shady. We have the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. We also read in our design prompt that we have a steady flow of wind coming from the west side to our house. And I notice that we have a fabulous view to this creek, which I'd really like to preserve. So I'm going to take that under consideration when we jump in scale. So again, I'm going to lay my trace down so that I can draw and sketch as often as I want. Trace comes in a lot of different sizes and colors, but it's very inexpensive and fun to use. So again, here we have our oak tree. Here's the border of our site. And just for a sense of scale, let's notice that I read that there's a 10-foot side yard setback. Well, that's basically from here to here. So one might notice that, let's say, an average 3-person or 4-person residence could be approximately 100 feet by 25 feet. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that's very easy math. So approximately we're looking at a home about 10 times those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About that size. So that's just something I would like to notice when I'm developing the program with the bubble diagrams, just so that I don't get a little out of control and forget the size that I'll really need. So we're going to be entering the site from here, as in cars, bikes, and people. So it makes sense that we might have our carport somewhere close by. And I think that when you come in, let's say you're walking this way, I think it would be really nice to maintain the views of the trees and the creek below. So I'm going to say that the entrance is about here, and we'll keep the views open. And let's say that this area is for private use. So that's bedrooms and restrooms. And let's say that this area is really open for the public area. Well, one thing that I notice is that I think I would like to have the residence a little bit closer to the creek. That would really enhance the views to the creek. So let's keep the carport back here, and let's shift our home over there. So my next bubble diagram will be taking this public area and this private area and defining what adjacent programs would like to be next to each other. So we're going to maintain that this is an open view to the creek. I'm going to say that the main open living and dining room that's required on the design prompt is going to be here. and therefore the kitchen and the laundry might be next to it. The kitchen should certainly be next to the dining room. Both bedrooms can have access to the same bathroom if the bathroom is in between them. Also, guests from the living room can also access the bathroom. That's why I'm choosing to put that one here.
I'd like to point out that Jackie at this point is not really sketching to any specific size. She's just sketching to maybe specific adjacencies and locations of things that are critical to the design solution. The sizing of these spaces will come later.
So I think I want a big, thick concrete wall that will protect from the early morning sun, but also I know that it will gather heat as the day ripens and will radiate heat when it becomes nighttime.
Well, what Jackie has done here is to go from the general to specific, and she's using tools that we use as architects. Sketching, bubble diagrams, we're looking at site considerations, where the wind is, where the sun is, and she's incorporated that into her design. We use that in our decision-making process to narrow down and eliminate things that aren't important to the design. Okay, while you're doing this, while you're laying out the floor plan, it's a good idea to think about what are the elevations going to look like with these large concrete walls. What's the building going to look like? So that's an important consideration to be thinking about when you're doing your design.
Yeah, so we have our site here. We have a single family residence. And I think I'd like to have longer overhangs to protect from the sun. It's here, when the sun comes in, it's not going to hit the windows and heat up the interior space. Also, I think I'd like to suspend it a little bit off the ground so that air and nature, plants and animals can freely run underneath the building. And I think perhaps I will put a raised roof with windows up here so that heat can escape.
Jackie has got a very successful design here, and it's ready to be turned into some presentation drawings.